All right, at 6:30, we'll call to order the City of North St. Paul Arts and Culture Commission, our October 1st, 2025 meeting. Jordyn, would you like to take call for us, please?
Can do. Tom Sonnek,
Present?
Carey Nadeau,
Here.
Amanda Black,
Here.
Sharon Clark-Williams,
Here.
Raquel Soto,
Here.
Laura Strang,
Here.
Aliza Verma,
Here.
Yued Orozco-Garcia,
Here.
Troy Woods.
Here.
Full house, and our staff liaison, Jordyn Lehman. Thank you all for being here. We're going to move on to our next step of adopting our agenda. Anybody have any thoughts or changes you'd like to make to the agenda? If not, we'll look for a motion to approve the agenda as listed.
I move to approve the agenda as listed, please.
Three moves.
I second.
Who did that? Oh, Raquel. Okay. I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is adopted. Approval of minutes. Everybody get a chance to look through the minutes? Any questions, edits, changes you'd like to make?
Tiny, under utility boxes. I don't know if I misspoke. It was the 10th anniversary. Not that big of a deal, but
yes.
maybe for a historian.
Ooh, yep.
I can change that.
Thank you.
So if nothing else, we'll look for a motion to approve the minutes with the edit of the park's anniversary being 10 years rather than 15 years.
Motion?
Moved by Aliza,
Second.
second by Amanda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Minutes are approved. Meeting open to public, nobody here. Public hearings, we have none. Commission business action items. So autumn arts feedback discussion. So Amanda, you're going to lead us on this?
Yeah. So Tom and I met with Ava last week and heard from the feedback forms that she received, as well as just feedback that Tom and I had. The papers in front of you goes through most of that. But Ava and us would like to hear from the rest of you about your feedback. Specifically, Ava would like to know the priorities and vision for the future, the layout, event hours, and event growth we can talk about a little bit, because we've got ideas. But anybody just have general comments? How do you think it went? Anything go awry?
I thought the signage was better, and overall, just the plan on times and postings was helpful to visitors to know what was happening where. And it seemed like things were closer, like the action, the face painting, the ballooning, like all of that was closer and, more gettable. I had a hard time with the center aisle of the tents.
Yes,
A lot of-
it was there.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people did, and we've heard that feedback, and we have options that I'm going to discuss with Ava from what I've seen at events as how we can do it if we are in the parking lot again next year. So that won't happen again, basically.
I had two of the vendors, that were at the festival in the watercolor cards class last week, and both said they really didn't think, well, they didn't like the layout, but it wasn't because of whatever. It was just, everyone was so focused on the performers.
Okay.
So it felt like there were two separate events happening.
Sure.
So you had people coming to watch the performers and not going over to the vendors, whereas last year or previous years, they would be watching the performers, maybe get a little bored, turn around, go buy some stuff, so somehow maybe centrally locating those in future somehow.
I think that's important with, when we're talking about priorities and vision for the future.
Yeah.
And figuring out what our focus needs to be for this event and what Ava should work on, like, bringing to the event. Timing-wise, we did get a lot of comments that it was running late, or not late, but that it was very long for a lot of the vendors. How do you feel about bringing the time down to, she suggests either 11 to 4 or 5 or 10 to 5?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me. It's more of like what would work out best for the event.
Yeah.
If there was like a significant decrease in attendance after 5 or after 4, then that would justify, let's tighten it up.
Yeah. What I've seen a lot in events is it doesn't matter what time you end, the last hour is always slow, as far as from a vendor perspective. But what I think is, Polar Drift seemed like a good 5 o'clock music, right?
Yeah.
So possibly it could be that the event runs until 5, but at 5 o'clock, there's like this grand performance at the end. I don't know if that would work, but.
Button on it.
Yeah, and then people who are coming for Polar Drift, if they aren't shopping anyway, then vendors can start tearing down. Option.
Yeah. It felt, oh, go ahead.
No,
It felt like it got chaotic when they were cleaning up in the parking lot. I don't know if, that was just an observation. I don't know if you had feedback for that.
Not a ton,
Okay.
yeah.
My only comment is bees.
There were a lot of them, especially in the parking lot where, so we had food on one side, but then the blacktop got hot. And that attracts them. And as somebody who's allergic, I was like, I'm out of here. Because there's just too many of these around here. And I do know, and maybe they did not complain, but there was one vendor that literally was getting chased out of their area.
Oh my gosh.
Was that the one that had the ice cream spill right by their truck or something?
I don't recall any
Okay.
specifics. I just know that I saw them swatting and moving quickly, and I thought, yeah, because they're
Yeah, 'cause there was a vendor who found me because I had a blue shirt on and said, hey, can you come and clean up a spill? Somebody's dumped an ice cream cone or something like that. And he said it's attracting bees. So I went over and cleaned it up.
I did not investigate the source of the bees, but I did notice that as it got warmer and the day went along, there were more and more yellow jackets to the point that I was like, yeah, I'm done.
So some vendors didn't mind being in the parking lot and preferred it, and some vendors preferred being on the grass, which is, you're never gonna please everybody. But looking ahead, Ava's thinking about combining the two essentially. Is there anywhere that you could think of that what we already have existing can be moved or put in a different area? Any thoughts?
Something that came up in the class was the discussion of perhaps looking at downtown as an option for an event space. Just because we already do the car show down there, the sidewalks are wide enough that they could accommodate the vendors. It would just be a matter of finding a suitable place to have performers or a central location and a tent and some chairs and stuff. But that was the feedback I heard.
We've talked a lot about that, and clearly I won't be here for next year's discussion, but we have relayed that to Ava. I don't know, she has to talk with the city manager more about it. From, again, what I've seen, tents would be set up in the center of the street, would be the ideal option. People walking on either side then. You could have it with how our downtown is arranged, where vendors are in the parking spaces, and then the center becomes your walking space. Either way works, and either way is pretty smooth for setup and tear down, because vendors drive in from one point and drive all the way through, and then there's an exit on the other side of the street. When it's set up like that, performances and everything would be at either end. Also, I think if we do that, we can get either the VFW or American Legion to maybe have outdoor beer service or something. So say the American Legion has beer service, the VFW hosts the performers. Actually, they should be close together. Anyway, that's how I would see it happening downtown.
I just think it'd be great for businesses, just to.
I was going to say, while I adore the park because I love parks, the Fargo Arts Festival is very similar, where they close their downtown for it, and it works really, really well. So I was going to say it's something that's been done and done well, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I brought that up when we met, the city option, the downtown. I think we were talking about that very early on, right, Amanda, when we were planning this. And then kind of thought, okay, well, maybe what we need is to get this thing a little more established and let it grow a bit and see when we can get to that point where we could do something like that. And I feel like we've been doing that. So it's been getting bigger every year. It's getting established. I think there's more evidence available to the council and the city manager to support something like that. And obviously, we have a model for doing something like this because we do it every Friday night in the summer. To me, it seems like a really neat opportunity to kind of bring back what we used to have, which like crazy days in the fall roundup. And so because you probably remember, Sharon, but just, it was all connected, so the fall roundup parade was a part of the whole thing, I think. And so the crazy days was right around the same time, or, so having it a whole sort of North St. Paul week where you could kind of do things. And I recognize that can be a lot on staff, but knowing that it's all condensed into a 1 week period might make it a little easier.
Yeah.
And then with the downtown space, I think you just, aside from the fact that you're closing off the street, you don't have to close off all the 7th Avenue. You could close off one section of it probably. And then for the Friday night car shows, they already set up bands in different locations to play. And so you could have maybe several acts going on at once, depending on how you did it, so. But the car show being a perfect model of how you could pull this off.
I really like having the tent and the chairs, though. I think that makes it really nice for people that are
Yeah.
watching the performances. That's one thing that they don't have for car show. So if we
Yeah, we
could
could still have that.
replicate that, I really
Right.
think that helps.
It could be in a parking lot.
Yeah.
where you would set up the
Exactly.
tent and
Right.
chairs.
Right.
But I do remember, I was thinking back, I do remember Crazy Days. I remember the polka. There would be a polka. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the polka, no.
There was. And, but the nice part about it is it would all be kind of condensed together. So the commitment for staff, for commissioners, we know like, okay, this is Crazy Days a week, or this is fall roundup week. We know like we're on every day, and we do it, and it's done. It's kind of like our big farewell to summer
Right.
event. And so I think that's a good thing. I'd rather do that than a little dribble here,
Right.
a little dribble there.
Right.
Let's just go for it.
I grew up in Lakeville, and we call it Prague, and there's a car show, a parade. The car show night is called Cruise Night and everything. I don't know if they do vendors. They didn't when I was growing up, but there were nights that were dedicated to each kind of event, and same thing, where it's just get it out one weekend, the whole city gets to celebrate, and yeah.
Yued, any feedback from North volunteers or any of your compatriots from the event?
No. Only from Latinx, with my friend.
Yeah.
She said it was nice.
Okay,
to see all the different performances.
Good.
And also the food.
yeah,
Who doesn't like food?
I know, the food was great.
But I didn't really stay that long
Yeah,
because my head was
You didn't feel good.
hurting so bad.
yeah.
Food was another thing that we're looking at moving if it's at the park, because where they were located was very loud for the vendors. And not just that, they were just kind of clunky there. I do know the food trucks liked being off the street, because last year somebody actually got hit being in the street.
Well, that makes me think then maybe the parking lot should be for the food trucks, and then they put the artists on the grass so that it leads into, because we definitely had lots and lots of people coming to see the acts. The acts really drew a crowd, and then that way they'd have to walk through the arts
Yeah.
to get to the to see the performances, and then food. People will find food.
Yes,
You don't have to worry
yes.
about that.
I do think, like you mentioned, it was loud. I do think that it was a little loud, because, even at the art cart, like, you're having to try to yell a little bit to the kids on the process. So I could see how, if we toned that down, or if we had multiple sites with concerts that were a little more intimate, that might be nice.
I can send this stuff all to Ava, and then I think I will send her layouts and information from events that I've done so that she can see an example, not just of downtown layouts, but park layouts too. We can go from there.
Can I add like one extra aside? So with the signs, Sharon and I put them out and stuff, and liked the locations of them. I was wondering if maybe next year some of them were starting to look a little worn. And also, it might be nice to maybe work on the design a little bit, just because it was a little busy, and maybe we can
Dates, please.
or updates, or have like a space to like, I don't know, Velcro dates on or something. Like,
Yeah.
Because that was the part that I noticed what Saturday? This Saturday, is this an old sign? Is this a
Right.
new sign? Did I miss this?
I think we made that a couple of years ago so that we could use them, but considering that we were trying to use more budget this year, we probably have room in the budget each year then for some new signs. I don't think they cost that much.
All right, like you said, just so we can just have space where
Yeah.
we can at least, put a date up, take it off, and we can just put tape on there. Write a date on, peel it off, use the signs.
Okay, great job. It was a really fun event.
The growth was really
Yeah.
nice to
Yeah.
see.
Really good day. Okay, anything else on Autumn Arts?
I really liked the buttons too, like
Yeah.
so you would know who was a volunteer and not.
Yes.
That was really helpful. Okay, sorry. I'm done.
There were buttons.
There were buttons. You got to wear a little button. Did you not get your
I didn't
button,
get a
Tom?
button. No.
I don't either, but
If you had a shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh, I wore both. You know how I wear.
Like some of the volunteers from high school and stuff got a button, so they-
Gotcha.
of course Troy would hoard the buttons.
Yeah.
Troy.
There's the button hoarder.
I was not worried. If you wanted a button and came up with.
They were so cute.
Okay, subcommittee updates. So, Public Art Project, any update here?
Whoa. Yep.
Wow, okay.
Go ahead, Carey.
Well, we met last night. It was great. Had a lot of fun. I feel like we did it with our Bring Snowy Home project, so that's good. And then we brainstormed ideas for next year of things that we want to do. And Laura has an update on the stamp.
Yes, so from the previous discussions that we had on the stamp, the one that we were going to move forward with, I ultimately scratched because they were framed out, it was like in a rectangle or in a circle, and less of that like hidden snowy factor. And we do want it to be, smaller and less in your face. Like, we want you to have to search for it. So I started looking up other options and found this like custom branding iron as an option. So I've reached out to the maker, and I can pass this down. You can see it after. But I looked at how to stamp concrete with a branding iron, and they talked about needing a concrete release agent so you don't get it all smushy, and I'm sure there's a better word for that. But then I found it, and it's very affordable. So we would be looking at, $150 essentially for the branding iron and the release agent, and then we could be reusing that. And it's just the shape of the snowy and not, like a stamp with a outline. So more hidden, more special, like the hidden Mickey. So it'd be like 4x4, maybe 5x5, but I've asked the seller, because they can go even smaller, but I think 4x4 is
I think
a
that's fine.
good size.
You
So,
know what it reminds me of, and like with the branding iron too, if you look at new curbs that they do around town, they put W and S in there, right in the curb, and it looks like it's done with the branding iron.
it does, you're right, I like that.
So that's probably very similar, and probably about the same size is what you're looking for too, huh?
What does that mean?
So your water and sewer line, so you can see where that comes, so the city may not have to come out and flag it every time, but you can just see right in the
That's
curb.
like thinking ahead.
Right?
Look at
Yeah.
them go.
Those city planners.
Look at
I didn't see a G though for like gas.
gas. Maybe they can't put it under concrete. I don't know.
They just do the sniff test.
but
Nice.
Just go for it. Hope for the best.
Yeah. So we're working on that. And then to use up the rest of our budget, we are diligently researching a penny press machine. Oh my God, is everyone so excited? Oh,
Frank, and you had a,
yes,
I love those.
right?
Wonderful.
This will live in City Hall. Assuming we can have that approved. And we will have 4 designs, and we will swap out the designs. Once we figure out how much it costs to swap out the designs on a regular cadence. 1 penny. And so we will have one that is to start, we will have one that is our giant snowman, one that is a classic car for history cruisers, one that is a silhouette of Henry Castle, our founder, a silhouette of our founder, Henry Castle, and I forgot what we decided on for the 4th one.
Talk about police and fire. Oh, we did.
Oh, no, Autumn Arts Festival.
Yeah,
Yes.
There you go.
One for Autumn Arts Festival that will be a leaf, not a maple leaf, and an artist palette, because we don't want to be confused with Maplewood. So,
Or Little Canada.
or a little, oh, thanks. Yeah. So, we got some homework to do, so we're gonna try to get that done really quick and get that. Yeah, see, you're Googling it right now. Check it out. Own your own penny press machine.
This is,
Because you know what? People have to come to City Hall to do stuff.
Yeah.
Why not have there be something fun? We already have the art project from last Autumn Arts Festival. People can come and look at it. You know, I'm not trying to turn City Hall into a museum or whatever, but why not
well,
make it?
couldn't you haul it out to the car shows or haul it
guess
around
you could,
places too
sure.
or something?
I think if you selected the right penny press, it would be something that could be hauled out.
Mobile?
Yeah.
How much do these things go for?
Yeah, it's a couple thousand.
Really?
That's one of the issues.
We're working on it.
Do it.
We're negotiating.
Or what's the guy on Big, the Goron or whatever, the Magnificent, you know, where he gets the, remember the movie Big with Tom Hanks? I wish I was big, and he's like the wizard and
Oh, Zoltan.
Zoltan, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
That'd be cool.
Should we
Let's
get
get
that
one of
one
those too.
We could have a whole
And
arcade
a pinball machine.
downstairs. Oh my God, people would never leave.
I
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
advocate.
There's gotta be an empty conference room we can just turn into.
Probably.
Thank you, Troy.
I think the penny press
A
is a
space for
fabulous
teens.
idea, though. Very nice.
We're
Jordan just
excited.
sees her future going,
Well, and I'd like to have the credit card one, because then you don't have to worry about having a penny, but I suppose if it's in here, then we could always beg Jordan to keep a little
Oh,
roll
you
of
have to
pennies in
bring
the
your own
corner.
penny, or what do you, or how do you?
Well, yeah, because you put the 2 quarters in
I
the
didn't know if you
penny.
had, oh, that's what it is, 2 quarters
And
of
then the
penny.
penny.
Okay.
So I think the 50 cents is your payment.
Right.
So that's the one thing we would have.
Oh,
to
yeah, we
explore
didn't-
with the city is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, they
where
would
does the
probably
payment
have
go?
to collect the payment, and where does that payment go?
Hopefully to getting more designs, right? Because we were
Yeah.
thinking we could have a round of designs that were done by young kids, you know, have them design something for the penny press. That would get all the grandparents in here. We were thinking a round of actually commissioning artists for just little, you know, $100, commission a little design or whatever.
Maybe
Or
we could do
potential maintenance for the machine.
Yeah,
we
or
do
something
annual
cultural.
competition
Yep.
where we vote, or the city votes on a kid drawing that will become a penny press for the year. So you could look at.
Lots of options here.
Where did the pennies come from?
So usually they provide the penny and the 2 quarters, and so the quarters are
And
the
I'm just asking
payment.
that because this is
Yeah.
last year, pennies will be issued in the.
Are you serious?
It is?
Yeah, where have you guys been?
Not reading the news because it's terrible.
using Venmo.
Yes, this is the last year pennies will be issued, but I'm sure will have copper discs that they can buy to put in the machine.
If not, we can use our 50 cents to buy copper discs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, shrew. Thanks, Sharon.
I just wanted to point that out, that we can't expect people to come in with pennies and
Yeah.
They're nickel presses?
because they are not available.
Expensive.
The other option is they do have like souvenir coin, souvenir medallion
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
but it's not the
But
same.
it's not
It's
as
not the
fun.
same.
To like,
Yeah, you gotta see it squish.
yeah.
Crank the, all right.
Anyway, so more to come.
I'll quit bursting.
Love it. Penny press. I'm adding this on the list.
Oh, good.
Press.
And then Laura, are you able to send me that information that got passed around about the stamps
Yes. I can.
over email? And then I can maybe just send that to Ron just to make sure that it's all good and Unless he's already
Emailed
seen
him
it,
as
but.
well. I just
Okay,
didn't add the pictures,
okay.
but I can just add that to my email.
All right, sweet, thank you.
Okay, mural team?
That's us.
I didn't get to read the thing, I'm sorry.
Oh, do you want, we can, Sharon, do you
Oh,
want to
you
go?
wrote it. You
Oh,
can
okay.
go ahead.
So, and Jordan, I did just email you this earlier today, but we have a project plan together. So one of the things, it's too late now to try and find another location for mural, given the time constraints and the weather. So we kind of shifted our thinking on this, and one of the things we had an idea of was art benches. And probably if anybody looks on Pinterest, Sharon found this is a good way to look, is if you just look for, what was it? Artist,
Yeah, public art.
public art benches or something like that. You can see all these designs. I included a few of them in our proposal. But the idea would be that we would purchase like park benches that could be used in the parks, or they could also be used downtown, but we were kind of focusing on parks. And then, similar to the Snowies, commission artists to create designs for the benches that they could either paint on the slats of the benches, or if we found benches that had more, like a full back and seat, more like a bus bench, I think you would see.
Could they be vinyl wrapped like the,
And that's the other option. So if an artist came up with a design, there's a potential that it could be vinyl wrapped. And so we'd have to look into that with like our vinyl wrap folks, or find a new vendor to see if they can take the artist design and have it wrapped that way. So if we did something like that, we could potentially have, 4 benches, let's say. And if they cost, these benches, if you get like the industrial type for a park, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,500 for the bench. And if you paid an artist a commission to paint the bench, all materials included, or if they came up with a design and then we paid the wrap company to wrap it, so you add maybe another $1,000 for a bench right there, so we could probably do 4 benches for $10,000. And then those things could be placed in our parks, or could be placed downtown, or, again, what we conceived of with this was to have them all in the parks. And there are numerous locations. I went down to Dorothy Park, and there are actually a couple of really nice City of North St. Paul benches that are there, because I think that park was more recently redone. So there's really not a need for benches there, unless you put one that was more like in front of the lake and looking out, which would be nice.
Exactly what I was thinking this weekend. That would be nice, a beautiful
Yeah.
serene view.
Right, yeah.
Where the canoes are stored.
Yeah, exactly.
Snowy, that's right there.
So if you want to just sit on a bench and look out at the lake, which would be kind of nice. Also, I think there's a need for park benches at Silver Lake Park, especially around where the playground and the tennis court and the beach. There is one bench there that's kind of old and beat up,
Yeah,
but
are
there could
no-
use a couple others.
Having watched my grandson there recently, there are no real benches
Yeah.
by that old slide and
Yeah.
area.
So, and the intention here was to have kind of like nature themes. So like if we did a call for artists, we could reach out to our typical, our usual suspects, people who have done these types of things, and say, hey, we're looking for nature themes, things that could blend in. There's kind of a question on the form. It's like, would the thing blend in or stand out where it's located? And my response is that it would do both. I mean, it'd blend in, because if we had them at parks, we would want some sort of nature theme, but they would stand out because of their artistic design and expression, that we would, we don't want it to just be, painted green like grass or something. So that's kind of the idea that we floated out there. So it'd be interesting, because that way, if nothing, if at the very least, there's potential that, we could use our mural budget to purchase benches, we could get I think that before the end of the year, we could easily purchase the benches, but probably also get a call for artists out and get the painting done, and then store the benches until spring, and then have in spring, we could start out right away and have a reveal party, kind of like we did with Snowies or something, or just have some kind of social media, something just drawing attention to these things. And then, so right out of the gate in 2026, we could have something new out there that didn't hit our budget in 2026.
That's awesome.
So that's our idea.
You're not planning on having them painted this year, too, are you?
Potentially, so like if an artist, but potentially we could have the artist is that, you take it to your own location and paint it.
Sure, I'm just thinking the call for artists takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, I know. So it would be tight.
But it's something that could be worked out over the winter. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a good 6-7 months to work with here for winter. So there would be the call for artists.
And if it turns out that wrapping is an option, that would just be fantastic, because they would be working on their art piece and then have time to photograph it and digitalize it.
So,
Or even the
but then it's just the art commissions would go on our budget next year,
Right.
rather than this year. But if we were to, purchase benches this year, we could at least, scope out the project, use our budget from this year to purchase the benches, define the locations, and then we'd have all winter where we could work with the artist to come up with the designs, if we didn't want to try and get them painted before the end of this year.
And you'd still have enough budget this year to do even more than 4 if we're storing the benches.
Right, and then you would just have to think, what would the artist commission be for each of the benches, and then, depending on what kind of budget we get for next year, and then whatever we take out to pay artists for the benches, that would, limit our ability to do some other kind of public art, or say a mural next year.
I just think it'd be wise to think about Jordan's time and how in the next 3 months, I don't know if you can purchase benches, get a call for artists, review the calls for artists, and get all that done with the city council approvals that need to get done too.
Yes.
By the end of December. Through winter, yes.
That's what he's saying. is
Okay,
for winter.
okay.
So between now and December, we would be looking at purchasing benches.
Got it. I thought you meant by end of December, have the artist chosen and artist painting.
Yeah, that's what I put in the form, actually.
Oh,
That it
okay.
would by the end of December. I mean, and I think we could push it if we did that. But the call for artists, reviewing the submissions, making selections, that would be something that the mural committee would do, that we wouldn't need Jordyn to do that. The mural committee has done that in the past without
No, yeah.
without the help of the staff liaison. So it would be just a matter of purchasing the benches. And then, we could also, Sharon and Carey and I could coordinate with the artists on painting, et cetera.
Sure, okay.
So, I think it's possible to do. If we wanted to push it up. And then as far as like, city council approval, it would just be the spending of the dollars that would be on the consent agenda.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I don't think that's too complicated there.
Not that it's complicated, but if you're not ready to purchase the benches now, like right now,
Right.
whenever you do, you need to wait until then, right? Like, you need to wait until it goes through the consent agenda to
Right.
actually purchase. And council meets every 2 weeks, is it?
First and third Tuesday.
Okay, so twice a month. I'm just trying to think it through.
Yeah, yep.
But with as hard as it's been to find walls for the murals, I think it's a really exciting way to add that
Yeah,
art
right.
elsewhere. So that's really cool. Way to think outside the box.
So if we do, push the artist's work until later, then yeah, it gives us a lot more time to do that, but then we'd pay those artists in 2026 and it would have to come out of that budget. So trying to do it in fourth quarter here would at least give us an opportunity to use the budget that we have
Right.
remaining.
Yeah, I think purchasing the benches might be pretty feasible before the end of the year. I appreciate the this project template that you guys filled out. I've already seen a lot of useful information. Ron is definitely going to be somebody I'm going to be talking to a lot for this. I'm going to bring this up, but I don't have a lot of information on it. I think benches in the park have to be a specific bench, like they all have to be the same. I don't think that could be a problem. I'm not really sure what kind of benches they are, if they're metal or not, but that's just something to keep in mind. I feel like Sarah's told me this, so there should be, I feel like, a pretty good process to buying these benches, so it shouldn't maybe take too long. But yeah, they all have to be the same. I don't really know what they look like, but I think it's a great idea, and I'll definitely, start running it through department heads.
Yeah, great. So that's our update. Okay, who do we have next? Utility boxes.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
well, why don't we start with Laura, because you are finishing up the Heart Hands one.
So I got the template for the new box location, and I have finished adjusting the artwork to fit the new dimensions. But in that, it was relayed to me that the file size was too big, and I should cut it by 50%, but I don't want to cut the quality by that much because we're already going to be blowing up these hands that were taken on iPhones and are better than mine, but still. So I would like to get the information directly for the utility box wrap people so that I can find out if they have a Dropbox or a Flash or something so that I could get the original quality image to them, just so it's a good quality by the time it's wrapped.
Nice.
But it's done, so I just need that information so instead of, limiting the quality of what we ended up with. So, but we'll be good, and then I think the turnaround for actually wrapping is pretty quick, so we should have hopefully good weather still to get it done this year.
Just so I'm understanding correctly, you just need you're getting like the actual images to get to them to put on the template, or?
Sending the template, because the file size was
Oh,
too
okay.
great. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Laura and I have talked about this. I've given the printed copy now to Aliza. We had talked last year at the beginning of the season of using a slightly different process for doing the utility wraps. The idea being, we'll make the call for artists early in the year, like February or March, and have a pre-planned, these are the utility boxes that we want, have them pre-selected and approved by the city, so we'll have the right dimensions, locations, so the artists can see them. You have not seen this because I haven't sent it to you, but I just did a SketchUp of a call for artists for the 2026 utility boxes for 4 boxes, and then there's one down there. You can let Laura see it or whoever see it. So with the idea being of getting this process going early on.
Sweet, sounds good.
And so that is not final, that is a high-level sketch of, this is what I perceive. So on this one, I believe I selected 4, like one with a history cruise theme, one with near a children's playground with a children's theme, one open call for any type of art that reflects the good life in Minnesota, and one is nature. We will have the locations predetermined, which is not listed on there. As far as like the history cruise one, obviously, I would coordinate with Bruce as far as using like the logo, because that's their trademarked logo, to get permission to incorporate that into the artwork, and maybe using photographs that they had previously for people to create art from, whether it be one where we pre-select an artist and say, hey, this is what we want based on your prior work, or this or that. Each of those locations would need to get fleshed out. The important point is, we know now what we want. We'll get all the factors put in. We'll get that posted on to the website, sent out to our artist lists early in the winter. So when the weather comes, their artwork is done, it's been digitalized, and they can start printing the wraps and get out there, and they'll have all summer to get it done, just in case it's a rainy summer like this.
That sounds perfect.
We
Great.
very much wanted to streamline the process and know on the front end, what images would be approved for which locations, and then very specifically ask for those artists. So this is awesome. Sharon, thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Good work. Okay, art cart, I think we're wrapped for the year.
We are.
Yes.
Okay. Art night, there's another one coming up, right?
Art night's great. We had 4 people at the last event. Amanda's gonna do blankets in October, and I'm doing mandalas on coasters for November. And then we'll be done with the season. We're gonna meet in October once Amanda's done with her art tour of Minnesota, which will be great. I'm sorry to be a bad penny. I love the new tables because I complained about the old tables because they were kind of gross and dirty. They're very heavy, and I'm old. And so when I have to set up for the event, it's difficult for me. So luckily, we just have 4 people at the last event, but if we get to our numbers that we usually have, that's going to be a lot of table moving.
And a slightly easier way to lift them.
Did you?
Well, just open the legs, and then I go to the table side and just tilt it up.
Oh, instead of, okay, all right. Yeah. I don't know if there's any like table accessory. I'm guessing not, but you know what I'm saying? Like a wheel or something?
It's called the teenage son.
Yeah, as if he were ever home, I could, well, anyway. So that's my one comment. Probably there's nothing you can do about it, but thank you for listening.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely look into see if there's something like I don't know, accessory to make it easier, just more
Just
accessible.
Yeah. Or if someone
A
could
lifting back strap kind of thing.
yeah, that would be great. I would love.
Think of movers, they have like the little strap, something like that.
Or I don't know if it's possible I hate to put things on staff, right? Like I will do anything. Troy had to wrestle picking up the cake from me today because I was like, no, I can do everything. He's like, no, I got this. So I need to be better at asking for help. So if there were someone from Public Works who could be like, here, I'm just going to pull 3 tables off, because I can do the chairs. I mean, they get kind of high, but.
I could definitely look into because we know these events so far in advance, putting in a public work order.
Even just
for
having
that
them
day.
open the tables. They don't have to arrange them correctly, maybe.
Right, yeah. Like, I don't care.
You can drag a table around.
Please
but
don't make me have to deal with the table. Anyway, that's enough about art night, I think.
Well, speaking of art night, do we know how many people are signed up for this?
Currently, we have 5 signed up for the blankets.
Okay.
So there are more spaces available.
Okay, go on, Raquel.
We have a total
spot
of
for
14
you.
spaces, I believe, for that class.
How many?
14.
Oh, nice. So there's room.
But usually there's about that many, isn't there?
I think so.
That sign up?
16 or so. Isn't that our cap, or 20?
Normally we're 15. Usually the cap
Okay.
is kind of what the artist decides,
Yeah.
and then budget is the secondary factor. But yeah, normally it's around 15.
Okay.
I know we passed the art cart because we're done, but I just wanted to make one comment from the festival. So when we opened the window and the little table flap, the corners are very pointy, treacherous. And we had some foam balls that I shoved on the corners that lasted a little while at the event, but then got hit by kids. So if there was something more permanent or semi-permanent, because we'd have to remove it to put it back up, but just to guard people's thighs from bruising.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. And I think maybe I'll revisit with Public Works about the hydraulics. They're making it not as
Yeah, it
treacherous
was-
for the door.
I went and grabbed Troy. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
With Amanda's help, I was like struggling halfway.
Yeah, I'll revisit that with them. Hopefully, it's slowed down for their mechanic, and that it's something that they can get on their books. Because I haven't heard anything so far, so
They've
definitely
got
follow up.
all winter.
Yeah,
They're not busy in winter, right?
yeah, exactly. There's nothing going on.
It's not going to snow this year.
I was gonna say, just hope for no snow.
Yeah.
Or on like the top, sure, that'd be great for hydraulics. Even the bottom, if there was like some sort of chain that you could pull from the inside and get it.
Like a handle or strap or something.
Yeah, even a handle, just so you could pull it up.
Because sometimes it's just one of us.
Yeah, because it is like Laura said, the edges are very sharp. So if you pull it from the top. I don't know. It just hurts. It's all.
It's all.
Your delicate flowers.
No, we're finally advocating for ourselves. Sorry. Maybe that's just me.
Fragile like a bomb, not like a flower.
Okay, Autumn Arts Festival, we covered. And food passport,
So I'm using this swanky new project proposal form that we're using now, and I have one pretty much done. I want to confirm with my other subcommittee members before submitting it, but that's been helpful to kind of outline and maybe revisit some of the points that the lawyer kind of pushed, so.
okay. But yeah, so did you connect with the city manager then on that, or how did you know what points that the lawyer was pushing?
From our discussion that you and I had.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the extent of
Oh,
the,
so you're thinking about maybe trying to find some other avenue with it, or?
avenue around, because I think the main issue, the sticking point was around like the gambling laws that they were concerned about, like, oh, you do this and there's purchase and then there's like that. That's been like the main sticking point. So I'm writing a project proposal, which I'm going to see about maybe what if we didn't do that and there's like a different type of like, incentive possibly. But yeah, I know we're kind of, it's a bit of in the gray area, but that's kind of what repeated to me through folks has been like the main issue is that worry about like gambling laws.
Okay.
So couldn't we do the thing where they do like no purchase necessary, just send an email to this email and you're good or whatever?
But the thing is it's like, since we're having folks go to the restaurants, technically we are having them do purchasing. And like, it's like, oh, you complete it. And then you send in like, you've completed your passport.
Anytime there's like a risk to involve like a chance, Minnesota has very stringent gambling laws. This is why you don't see raffles at churches anymore. And so that is the big thing that Aliza is trying to steer around.
Got it.
So, does there have to be any incentive involved?
So in like spoiler alert subcommittee, oh my gosh, in the current proposal, I was thinking maybe we could do just like the idea of like, if you complete this, you get like a keychain like we talked about, and we kind of take away the incentive of like, you can be put in for a drawing for this. So it does take away that level of like fun and kind of excitement that way, but like, I still want them to like get something out of it in the sense, besides having like an experience of our cultural food scene, but
I was going to say, for me, the passport is the fun.
right? Like, that's like the idea and stuff. But I do like the idea of like, if you finish it, you kind of get all your stamps, you're able to then be like, and now I have like this limited edition, like, North St. Paul, like Taste of North St. Paul, like keychain or something, or like a sticker that you can flaunt with your friends. So
That
Yeah.
takes the risk out of it because you're asking them to actually do a task. There's no bigger prize like a drawing for a gift card or anything like that. They can, it's pretty straightforward. It's a de minimis gift, and I don't know if you ever did get the answer to the de minimis gift question.
no, it was mostly like the big focus was on like we can't have like the raffle. And it's like, okay, like, yeah. So I'm like in the new project proposal, which is helpful for like breaking things down. It's more of like, the
Yeah,
little
we
gift.
would just stop at the point of the gift, but
Yeah.
I have some concept of what that might be, but I wanted it confirmed of what's the de minimis gift that can be given for the completion of the passport.
So then we're not asking them to spend money. It's like, if they choose, they want to spend money and get a stamp in their passport, then they can, at the end, have this giveaway, right?
Not really giveaway, but just if you complete like you visit like all the places,
Like prize.
like you can get a
A plastic keychain.
a really awesome limited edition custom keychain. Like, ooh.
But then the spending of the money is like their own decision, and they're not,
Yeah, exactly. And you also know up front, like, this is what you're going to get out of it. And like, yeah, so.
There's no risk.
And there's no risk, yeah.
Parks giveaway. Like, I get they're not you just go to all the parks and take a picture. But then, isn't there a risk with the raffle for the hammock?
That's not our contest.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I was trying to,
I,
cool, thanks.
yeah.
Raffle for the what?
The Parks Commission and they have
Oh,
the photo thing
If you take a photo at the.
at every
Oh,
park,
right.
then you can get entered into a raffle to win a hammock. So if the gambling
Yeah.
laws,
I don't know how that got started, so
Yeah.
I would hesitate to make any comment.
I would never want you to comment on something that you weren't comfortable sharing.
But I do know that I can see what the issue is with ours.
Thank you.
okay.
That is it.
Anything else? All right, let's move on. We got old business. I don't think we have any old business. And reports from staff. Jordyn?
Before I get into the proposal forms I have attached, Ava wanted me to bring up if anyone would be willing to, or if the commission would be willing to do a community craft at the Holly Jolly Night. If so, yeah, just kind of same deals, let us know what it would be, and we can take it from there.
What's the date?
I don't have my calendar in front of me. I'm sorry, I don't know.
I do remember
December.
that I wasn't available because it's
I'm
like a
not
weekend.
I popped the popcorn last year, that was fun.
For someone who hasn't been in the town super long, can you explain what this like Holly Jolly Night is?
I don't think I am the best person because I have
I was there.
Carey.
Okay, so we go to Casey Lake Park. Ava rents a movie and has somebody play it in the park building. Somebody dresses up as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. Do you know who that is? I think it's like a resident guy. Do you know who it is? And then the mayor comes.
For real.
And the kids she had someone cater hot cocoa last year, which was really cute. And then she rented a popcorn machine from Haney Rental. And I did the popcorn, and that was really fun. And they had a bonfire out in the front. So the fire department was there with they make really, I don't think they did it at Casey. They used to do it at Housey Park where they would make like a 20-foot bonfire, which was so cool. But they just do like a baby one and then, yeah, a little fire. And some church came and sang Christmas carols, which
Church.
I don't know. I mean, I like it more what is it when it's not?
Non-denominational?
Thank you. Secular. That's the word I was looking for. All right, there we go. Whatever, it's not my event, I just popped it up.
But do you have any recollection of like what month that happened in? Like
It was in
what-
December. It was like the first weekend
First
of
week of
December.
December.
It is
Maybe.
Friday,
2 months to figure it out.
it is Friday, December 6th, from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, wait, that was last year.
Oh.
But assume it's the same weekend.
Yeah, it is this year. It's the first week of December. It was on the little cards that we were passing out at the fall roundup parade.
December 5th.
December 5th, okay.
I will be busy.
I will be working an in-person event for work.
God, you work too much.
I know. Why are we scheduling all our fun like city
You missed the
things?
parade.
I did, but
Be so glad you missed that parade.
I had
I had fun.
crudité.
I enjoyed the parade.
I ran through that parade. How did it go for you?
Well, I found out I could still run.
I can't, yeah, we were.
Yeah, the cars were moving fast.
Yeah, we were booking it.
Those bags disintegrated. I'm so sorry, Jordyn. It was just like, okay, guess we have
Paper
no bags.
Yeah.
Okay, well. Oh, do we want to do an event then? Or do we want to do an art craft? I don't think so.
I won't be available.
We don't have enough people available.
Okay.
Can I make that executive decision?
You're the vice chair.
Your boss.
I can bring that back to Ava.
Thank you.
And then the next thing, I have attached 2 project proposal forms, specifically one for the murals and one for utility boxes. Kind of, a lot of it's similar to the original ones, but there's some, specific tailoring to those 2 things. If there's anything that jumps out that you have like questions on or that you think should be added, because I'm definitely was racking my brain trying to think of like the specific things that come up for each of these projects. But yeah, feel free to let me know either now or later through email.
I love you, but can we please add another S in commission?
Did I not? Is there?
There,
Where is it?
Well, it's North St. Paul Arts Commission. We're missing the arts and culture piece, and then commission needs a second S. I'm sorry, I am this person.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. This is what it's for. I will be honest, though, Ken added that, so I should have caught it, but I'm going to blame Ken for now. Yeah.
On the utility box proposal form, would this be for us to complete and turn in to you all? So, may I request a change, and instead of us, proposing a location, to get a new list of possible locations that we would be able to use? Because there are a lot of utility boxes.
There's
It'd
so
be
many.
nice to know which ones are appropriate for wrapping.
But I would like a little, I'd like a little control, and so I can, because like with the Veterans Park,
Yeah.
that was not on any kind of list. We just said, yeah, let's do one for the Veterans Park, and then I just took pictures of all of them and got suggestions as to which ones would be the best and that sort of thing. So once I
I'm fine to like
decided,
amend it if there's one that we really want to do, but it would be nice to have like a short list of
Okay.
10 or something that prime locations to start with.
I can look into that. I think we're both gonna have difficulties like figuring out the locations part because there is so many, and I think I was trying to avoid a scenario like what happened with the heart hands. It just kind of got like passed up. Like the electric director was the one who made that list, but then those special considerations of it being in like a residential area wasn't necessarily shown to Brian, and he's the one who brought that up. So I do think like on an individual basis, boxes I think the safest thing is for them to be reviewed, but I think potentially we can meet in the middle where like, I like how I saw like the car show one, you wanted a utility box on 7th. If you guys could maybe give us, do you think it would work if you gave like a general area or like one of the parks and like then we can go create a list for that? Or because I know parks, does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, or even if you have like maybe someone on the city planning committee would have like a map of color-coded dots of where utility boxes are so that Sharon and I could sit down and like look at where we'd hope to have placement and then fill this out and request one.
Ooh, I like that, because then you can make sure there's an even distribution.
yeah. I don't know if that exists, but I would hope so.
I would have to look into it. I feel like most of the time when you think that there's a map for everything, there's something that doesn't exist, but I can definitely look into it.
I'm thinking there is not one, but I don't know everything just because I'm 100.
Take one, Sharon. We'll just walk around. It's only 3 square miles.
But I can definitely look into the idea of creating a new like short list. I think, yeah, this is just going to be a work in progress. Like I said, since this is like the same thing that happened with the last one, I was trying to avoid that issue, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to require some discussion with the electric director, public works, and Brian potentially, about those, because there's the basic stuff of like the physical condition of the box. That's an easy one to say, yes, that works. When it comes to like special considerations, like I think from my understanding from the city manager is that it's kind of a case by case basis. Like he'll know it when he sees it. So I can definitely I think a list of boxes in good condition is definitely something that can be done. When it comes to like the more complicated stuff, I think that's going to have to be case by case. But yeah, definitely starting point. I can look into that.
I think that would be helpful.
Anything else about the forms? Okay, anything about the budget and events calendar?
Nope, not for me.
Anybody? All right, move on to section 10, reports from commissioners. Amanda, you got anything?
My final art fair for the year, well, before holiday stuff, is this coming weekend in Stillwater.
Oh, great.
Exciting.
I think I saw some about that, like, because they're having shuttle service from somewhere, right? It must be,
Yeah.
is it downtown or where is it?
It's on the river
Okay, yeah.
in Lowell Park, so, yeah, Stillwater ends up with a lot of parking issues, and they're having a trolley running from, I forget which locations, because
Oh,
I don't
great.
take it, but, yeah. Rivertown Fall Art Festival.
I am hoping the weather holds out for you.
Was that?
This weekend, you said?
Yes, Saturday and Sunday.
90 degrees. Be warmer than.
Yeah, fall.
Sharon, you got anything?
I do not.
Carey?
Yeah, I got two things. It's fall, which means it's time for the 622 Education Foundation silent auction, and I am so grateful to the City of North St. Paul for donating 2 fantastic items to this year's auction. We have a tour of the Public Works Department and a tour of the Fire Department, where you can try to like squirt hoses and do other fire things. So get ready, Aliza. Bidding is going to open in November. So this is our one fundraiser of the year for the foundation. I volunteer on that along with Troy, and I'm very proud of the work we do there. We also have our, it is an election or a voting year, I guess. So there is a bid up for school board chair, and then there is another levy ask for District 622, which is where my son goes, which is where Yued goes. So if you're interested in supporting the future of our community, I would please encourage you to vote yes twice on the ballot, November 4th. Thanks.
Thanks, Carey. Liza, you got anything?
No, but I do want to say that I invited some friends to the Autumn Arts Festival, and they said they've been to a lot in the cities, and they said this one was so wonderfully done, and it was one of the best ones they've been to this year. So I just wanted to share that on.
Somebody told me he thought it was like the North St. Paul version of the Uptown Arts Festival. I was like, damn. Okay.
Laura?
I went to my first Renaissance fair,
Oh, wow.
and it was amazing. I did not go in costume, but Rowan had to be in costume. We actually showed up in one, and she changed in the parking lot to a different one, so it was options. But it was so neat to be with a bunch of theater kids, essentially, but just people performing. And, you know, everything we want out of our Autumn Arts Festival, everything we want out of all the events that we do, where it's just like music being made and art being made, and you're just surrounded by it, and it was a really neat experience. So,
Cool.
yay, Minnesota.
Raquel, you got anything?
No, nothing new with me.
Yued, any updates from you?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So
All right.
first, I'd say was last week was homecoming week. One of the most stressful weeks for me because I was in charge of the Pet Fest we had.
I heard it was amazing.
I liked the Pet Fest. I liked how it turned out, but the planning for it, the script, was like the most painful part because it wasn't just like what they were gonna say. It was who was gonna show up, who was gonna perform, and I guess it was really all fault of miscommunication within student council because I ended up going to the assistant principals, advisors for clubs, president of clubs, just so I could get it worked out. And then on the day before the Pet Fest, I spent an hour and a half inside the activities director's office, I guess kind of arguing, discussing. He's watching this meeting. I'm just joking. You're my best friend. And I also went to my first school board meeting as student rep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was nice. but,
Yeah?
I guess I was a bit unprepared because I was mostly planning the script. And yeah, what else was I gonna say? I kind of forgot. That's pretty much it.
Wow, that's great. You
Sounds
Good
like you
job.
have a pretty full plate.
Yeah.
Last week.
And you're in what grade?
10th grade.
10th grade. Good for you. Keep at it.
Awesome.
All right. I don't have any updates. Update from our council liaison, Troy?
I've got nothing really other than, we already mentioned the parade, which I feel like went really well, other than the rain and the expedient nature of the parade.
Yeah.
I understand they wanted to get it over with quick, but, it was a little bit too quick. Other than that, city council hasn't met, but I do know that we've got an offer on the student-built house over by John Glenn, I
Okay.
think. I think we're still looking into that, and we're still looking into the contract for the next student-built program through St. Paul College.
And there's a new person took that over, right? Because didn't the original guy retire?
Yeah, so that used to be through Century College.
Yeah, okay.
The guy that kind of organized it from Century College and taught the program and everything, it was, what is the program through North where some,
916?
yeah. So it was through that program. So it was high school students, so it was only, an hour, couple hours a day that they would come, and then it was, different students and different students. So the thought with this is, he retired, so the program kind of died with him there. We're trying to coordinate with St. Paul College, because they had an interest in doing it. And the nice thing there is that it would be dedicated college students, this is their focus. So that's the goal. We're still working on the contract. And part of it would be the sale of the house part of it would come back to us, but part of it would go back to the college to help fund scholarships and stuff for the school too.
Okay.
Would there still be a chance
Still working
for,
out the details.
oh, sorry, Troy. Would there still be a chance for 916 kids to get involved, those who want to go into the trades locally?
I don't think so
Okay.
because of the coordination through.
St. Paul College? Okay.
Yeah.
And so is that like going through like the carpentry program, or is it just like construction?
I think it's all the trades,
I think
because
it's all
they
the
do
trades.
everything.
Because I know they involve like the interior design.
Oh,
classes as
Plumbing.
well. They came in and like laid out like what the countertops are gonna look out.
so they
look
probably
and,
have like a
paints,
general for the
colors
program.
and stuff like
Okay,
that. So, yeah, they try to involve everybody.
cool.
I didn't get a chance to go through, I know a couple weeks back, they had the open house for the house. I didn't get a chance to go, but I've heard, rave reviews about how it turned out and how it looks and everything, so.
Cool.
And where those, well, my gosh, words, it is 7:30, guys. And where's the location of the new house that they're thinking about doing it?
As of right now, I think the location that we're looking at is on Five Corners. There's like an alleyway, empty lot kind of thing there. So,
Kind of like up on the hill?
yeah, at the top of the hill.
Okay.
I am in
I've-
homes.
Was there like talk of like doing like a park there or something? Or maybe like,
There was, so, in the the Parks Commission, one of their recommendations was to do a park. There's the Triangle Park downtown, there's that, and then the McKnight Fields, and then there was talk about doing a park on that street, on the wooded area. So further down the hill would be a park, and I think it was more of a natural park with like sculptures, like climbable sculptures kind of thing. And then further up the hill, not at the top of the hill, but up towards the top of the hill would be, they talked about doing different things like a dog park, or could they do a little like a community garden kind of thing. I don't know whatever came of that, so.
Yeah, what happened to that guy who was at last year's Autumn Arts Festival and took all that input and feedback, and we did all that Post-it note stuff, and it's like, what do you want to see in a park? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, he's working.
Oh, shoot, that's right.
I think that's,
County.
it went all went into that recommendation.
Oh, it went to recommendation?
I think it went into that recommendation, and the recommendation was for those four projects, three parks. One, McKnight Fields was be two projects, but then the project downtown here, and then the project on.
Third.
Third.
Yeah, it's on the corner of Third and Seventh. Yeah, it's right across from the M&I homes.
Yeah. When would that happen?
It's already staked out right now.
Oh, it is?
They've already cleared the trees
Yeah,
where
they-
the house
they've
is
cleared some
planted.
Clear it
trees
with
and things
pennies?
like that,
Some,
but I think
they're
there's
all
still, like I
gone.
said, until we get a contract worked out with St. Paul College.
Okay.
Anything else for Troy? If not, you know what time it is.
Party time?
Time for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Sharon, Raquel, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, meeting is adjourned at whatever.